What up? What up? What up? It's your boy TB here, hitting us with another show of football and coffee. So I had a few things I wanted to talk about, and so we'll get started in just a second. But first, shout out to everybody that's here, or shout out to everybody that will be here, whoever you are. You're important. You're important to me. Um, but first things first, I need to send. Actually, I'll wait till my boy fishing when he gets here. I'll post this in the chat. We'll pull him on. But anyways, so my point of wanting to do this tonight. What's up, Pete? My point of wanting to do this tonight was getting to notice a lot of these few things that have happened lately as far as just position changes for coaches. And of course, I'm a Georgia fan, so being able to see yes, us getting Brandon Streeter, and I forgot the other guy. I literally just saw it earlier, but getting a second offensive, analyst. What's up, Craven? What's up, Big Two? But the thing that hits me about it, and I love it. Do I think that Streeter is he the best coordinator in the world? No, I do not at all. That's not the point. The point is that what Georgia is doing right now, and this is what I love, what Kirby is doing. He's pulling in these guys. He's pulling in these offensive coordinators, analysts, whatever you want to call, and you've just got a bunch of them. And a lot of them come with different strengths. A lot of them come with different perspectives. So when you're in a room full of those guys, and then you go to the same thing with the defensive coordinator slash analyst, whatever. That is a very intense. That's a very competitive. What's up, JC? That's a very competitive room. So when you're speaking on things, you've got guys in there that can give you thoughts from different perspectives, and that's what you want. We all know what college football is. We know it's a game of X's and O's. Yes, you have to have the talent. Yes, you have to have the talent. You have to have the talent. But we have seen plenty of teams that have the talent that don't get crap done. Whether that may be having a really good offense and your defense gives up a lot of points. I mean, heck, uh yeah, facts. Thank you. Yeah, Pete said Kirby didn't hire him out of charity. No, agreed. And that's like that's a good point. You didn't hire him out of charity. The whole deal with trying to build a this kingdom, this like not trying to get complacent. These are those kind of moves that prove he's hungry. And I know, people are like, yeah, well, TB doesn't mean you're going to three-peat just because you did it. It's not the point. The point is this man is not getting complacent and going, man, well, we won a few. Uh, I just, blah, blah, blah. It's not. No, it's like, dude, I want to keep going. What do we do? Okay. They just got rid of him. Clemson just got to upgrade an offensive coordinator and Garrett Riley. Hey, what's Streeter doing? Say, oh, he's going here. Well, he's got a few offers. How much are they going to pay him? Oh, they're only going to pay him that much. Hey, can we get together enough money to pay him to be an analyst? Oh, we can. Hey, Streeter, I know they're going to pay you 800,000 to come there. Like we can pay you 500,000 to come be an analyst. You want to do that? Okay. And you know exactly what's going to happen. He's going to go to Georgia. He's going to be an analyst for 2 years max. He's going to go somewhere else, be an offensive coordinator. That's it. Yeah, yeah. He said, I guarantee. What's up, Zona? He said, I guarantee Dabo co-signed on it too. Exactly. Like, because we know Dabo wants the best for his coordinators as well. Like, it's not a, hey, I fired you. Like, I don't care about you. I hope, yeah, I hope you go downhill for the rest of your life. It's not that. But to me, it makes me excited because yes, I have put a lot of, what's up, Fishing? I'm gonna post the link in the chat, Fishing, if you want to jump on. Um, but to me, it's like you sit there and you have a lot of these teams that you play against, and yes, these teams come with a lot of X's and O's strategy. So when you build a staff, a room full of X's and O's guys, and that's all they have to do is that they don't have to develop, they don't have to do anything except just sit there and analyze. It makes your job so much easier when you run by what your game plan is and they go, well, hey, coach, I like that, but look out for this. Because if you ran that against me, I would do this. Back when I was coaching, we ran against this team and they ran that 3-5 front, and this is how we played it, and it worked. Okay, so now not only do we understand that, but now the whole reverse engineering of college football to go, well, then, hey, we need to run a better defense against that. We need to be able to look out for this one running this defense. But if we go against that kind of defense, He just told us this works. He just told us, okay, so we're going to, hey, scout team, you're going to be coached, scout team, guys, scout team, you're going to be coached by former offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. And we're going to go against you. You're going to be coached throughout the weeks. You're going to understand game plans. You're going to be taught by guys who were the captain of their ship. You think of high schools, you think of some of these smaller colleges, the people coaching scout team are the ones picking up the jerseys after practice and washing them. Like that is the part I've fallen in love with the Kirby program, is putting responsibility on everybody from the top of head coach, offense coordinator, defense coordinator, all of it, down to the analyst. The guys that, hey, what did we find? Hey, how did they play against this front back in 2021? What is this coach's weaknesses? What is he what is he ignorant on? What does he not change on whenever it happens? Like I said, that's the part of college football to me that I love, because with what I do in sports, it doesn't matter the sport. When you get into trying to understand not only coaches but player tendencies, yes, players have tendencies, but so do coaches. So do coordinators. Some coordinators have bad tendencies. That's why they're fired. That's why they lose their job. Some coordinators have really good tendencies, and that's why they're hired. So it's an up and down, battle for as far as like college football as a whole when it comes to coaches, weeding them in, or new coaches coming in, old coaches going out, whatever. But what you notice, the people who survive, the people who adapt, those are the ones that stay. Those are the ones. Oh, JC, I like that. That's a good one. But I'm just saying, like, it's all about adaptation to, the times. We all know that 15 years ago, 10 years ago, you didn't mind winning a game 10-3, 7-3. But that's not the norm now. Now the norm is like you better put up 40 or 50 points or you're not winning. So instead of being frustrated and going, "Oh, I don't like that. I don't like this new college football. I don't like that that there's NIL and players are getting paid. That's, they need to they already get a scholarship. They already get a clean bed to sleep on." Like, instead of not liking it, adapt to it. You don't like NIL, it doesn't matter if you don't like it. Create a collective program that deals with NIL, that makes good deals and keeps everybody safe legally. So that's the part to me where I'm like, I'm so excited. Fish, and I put the link in the chat if you want to come in, but I'm so excited with just how. Oh, I saw Craven said UJ is quickly becoming the Clover Valley brand of the SEC. So just some things to look for. Next, I wanted to go on the spring games. Florida State, Clemson, Texas. Don't hate me for saying this, but Texas A&M, Georgia, Florida, and I think I'm missing two more. But those are the spring games I'm looking forward to, and we'll go down the line. Florida State's gonna be good. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if you're a Florida State hater, or you think otherwise. It doesn't matter. Florida State is bringing back a lot of guys, and the main thing they're bringing back is their quarterback. Dude's freaking awesome. We know that. Can they stay healthy throughout the spring? Can they? That's the biggest question mark for every team. But curious to see their spring game, see a few pieces that they lost, 2 steps up. Clemson, we all know what we're looking for. We want to see Garrett Riley. Yes, you're going to have the starting quarterback and backup quarterback on, opposite teams or whatever. I want to see the offense. I want to see the 5 wide. I want to see the route running. I want to see the hitches. I want to see the slant with the halfback delay, after the slant. I want to, I love Garrett Riley's offense. I know what happened in the championship game. I'm not worried about that, but watching TCU earlier in the season, it was awesome. So that's another big thing. Like, super excited to have, that coming up. I am curious to see how Clemson's defense is going to look. I know they have talent, not stupid, but I think they just lost. Is it KJ Henry, Miles Murphy? Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. And Brian Brzee. And all 3 of those guys are defensive linemen. So like I said, I know that they're losing a little bit. Maybe one of them's an outside linebacker. I don't know, but losing them, I want to see it. I want to see, like, how do you replace these guys? Who do you replace them with? Are you going to run the same defense? What is going to be your strength this year? You do return a good quarterback, so of course, want to see him in the spring. Uh, Nate, I see you in the back room. This is it's not a call-in show. It was just for me and Fishing to do. I just couldn't jump off this and send it to his email. Um, but then going on to next, I said Texas. You know, tell me why you want to see UNC's spring game, JC. But going into Texas, Texas has a lot of talent coming in, and they ended the season last year on hype. They had a quarterback going into his first full season. Wasn't terrible. I mean, definitely, show he did well his first year. Like, people can say, oh, well, he was overhyped. It's his first year. Like, yes, there are quarterbacks in the past who have had better first years, but there's like 5 of them. Like, calm down. So I do want to see Quinn and the battle in the spring game. Well, I know it's a battle right now, but I want to see Arch Manning. Is he as good as everybody has said? That, like, there's 2 things that go in with that. Arch Manning and Quinn Ewers, and a lot of the talent that is coming in. I want to know, what is that going to look like for Texas? So a lot of talent that when they move to the SEC, a lot of that talent will be in their sophomore, junior, and senior year. They're going to need it. Texas A&M, they come in with a new offense coordinator. If I'm right, it's Patino. Is that right? Or Petrino. Anyways, they come in with an offense coordinator that's actually an offensive coordinator. The one thing that I've always said that the coach at the car salesman at Texas A&M has always lacked is building a culture. Yeah. Oh, Florida State. Well, he had a good team. Yeah, Florida State's had a culture. They had a culture. They had a really good culture. Well, guess what he did? He ran that culture into the ground. Then he went to Texas A&M. Didn't really have a culture. Well, guess what they have now? They still don't have culture. Okay. Culture is having a sustainable program and having strengths, having, an identity. There's no identity. There's no strength. There's not that. Can Petrino bring that in? I have no idea. But we'll see. That's, like I said, I'm excited to see that from Texas A&M. Is the talent there? Yes. Texas A&M probably has more talent than 95% of the football team, 97% of the football teams in college football. So talent is there. I remember the team I was going to say, but I'll save that. Georgia has 3 quarterbacks right now who could start. Does Georgia need a quarterback that's going to throw for 5,000 yards? No, but we are not going to be able to have this. Darnell Washington was a key piece to Georgia. He's a big man that could block. He could take up a lot of space. So then when you tried to bring in a big guy, then it was a mismatch. Then you sent him out for a route. I know we still have Brock Bowers. I know we have Lawson Lucky, and I know we have Oscar Delp. And yes, we will use them. I get it. But the talk out of Georgia's practices right now is we're running a lot of 11 personnel. Last year we ran a lot of 12 personnel, which is 2 tight ends. 11 personnel is 1 tight end. So that means you're going to have 3 receivers on the field a lot. So does that mean we're going to pass the ball more, or does that mean defenses are going to be spaced out? I don't know. We will see. Plus the quarterback battle. I want to see that. I want to see Brock Vandagriff. I think Brock Vandagriff's going to take Beck's job. I love Beck, but I think they're both really good. I don't know. I just have a feeling Brock's going to ball out. Next, they were building something last year, basically, to see there. Oh, you're talking about UNC, JC. I got you. Who did I say after Georgia? Florida. Florida doesn't have a quarterback. I want to see that. I want to see you. I mean, hey, that they didn't even have a backup quarterback. Like that's the thing. If you don't even have a backup quarterback, how do you have a spring game? Like, do you have receivers doing wildcat? I don't know. Like that's what I want to see. I want to figure out what is going on at Florida, and seeing Billy going into his 2nd year. Very curious to see how that goes. Last but not least, the team that I was thinking about, Colorado. Are they going to be the most overhyped team ever? I don't know. But you know what that does for Wisconsin and Nebraska? That allows them to have a little bit of time to just focus on themselves. Because if it wasn't for all the hype to Colorado, people would be talking about Luke Fickell, one of the greatest coaches of all time at the FCS. Wait, not FCS, but at a Group of Five school. Going into the Power Five. That would be the talk. Or a former NFL coach and Matt Rule going to Nebraska. That would be the talk. But instead, all of the light has shined away from them into Colorado. So, yes, do I want to see Nebraska and Wisconsin there? Spring games? Yeah, I do. Yes. But I want to see Colorado's. Are they going to win 3 to 4 ball games? Is that more than what they won last year? Yes. Will they be happy if they win 3 or 4 ball games? Yes. Kirby came in his first year. I think we only won 8 games. I loved it. We were more physical. We played better football than I'd ever seen Georgia play I guess in my career. People are like, oh yeah, but we miss Mark Richt. The world's ending. He didn't win 10 games. Kirby's not a good coach. It's like, dude, our teams are playing out of their mind. Yes, these little pieces aren't there yet, but he's building it. You don't know what you're talking about. Second year championship appearance. Oh, we're so happy to have Kirby. No, shut up. Like, those are the people that I don't like. I'm just here for the now. I can't see the future because I'm blinded. So that's why I say that about Colorado. Like, I'm not going to judge them off of what happens in the first year record wise or statistic wise. I want to see the game and I want to be able to see that. I want to have the eye test. So, with that being said, I feel like I just talked for 16 straight minutes because it did. Is there anybody that you guys are looking forward to? Is there anybody that you guys can think of as far as who you want to see or what do you want to see? Nate, I will say now, if you do want to come in, Nate, and tell me what you're looking for Michigan. JC, if you want to come in, Luke, anybody on here, if you want to come in and tell me what you're looking for your team, well, I'll just kind of give you guys, a little bit of time. We'll give you turns. You just tell me what you're looking for from your team, or what you're curious to see from another team. So yeah, I'm super excited for spring games. I know college football is a ways away, but when you start getting into spring games, it becomes a big deal because whoever wins battles in the spring game, that you're going to see a second wave of transfer portal. You're seeing people compete right now. Not every player that loses is going to leave, but you are going to see people who lose leave. It's just the way it goes. All right, Nate, I'm going to give you about a minute, but I want you to tell me, what are you looking forward to?
For Michigan, probably I'm looking forward for the running back position. I'm really excited about that because Blake Corum's back.
True.
And my one concern, or my two concerns for, is the defense. Now I know mostly Michigan usually regroups for or rebuilds on the defensive side because remember last year or this last season, nobody knew the defense before the one this year, or you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, agreed. And that always has seemed to be not your weakness, but it was never your strength. Your strength was always the offense and like seeing highlights of Blake Corum or then the other running back bust open for 100-yard games or 150-yard games. Like it was never, Michigan's defense had 2 interceptions today and held the team under.
Well, I'll have to disagree on that in my opinion because the defense has been good since like 2019 or 2020, and they've been had a sim with Georgia in the stats rankings by defense wise, yards allowed.
No, and in that part, like I was saying with the Colorado deal earlier, I do think stats are a little misleading because, like you said, they were comparable to Georgia in stats.
Yeah.
Do you think that Michigan's defense did good against TCU, and do you think Georgia's defense did good against TCU?
Well, Georgia did all around good than TCU, but No, that Michigan game with TCU, it was the coaching.
No, and
Coaches,
that's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking
yeah.
Michigan. I'm saying
I know. I'm just saying.
it seems like Michigan's offense has been better than the defense. Not saying the
Right.
defense isn't good, just the
Yeah.
offense seems to be the
Yeah.
stronger.
I agree. But yeah, and also from Nebraska. Right now, I'm what do you call it? What kind of fan? Uh, not a diehard fan, but um like a I don't know what it's called, but you I'm basically I had to see it to believe it. Basically, I don't know
Okay.
what is that, but I want Nebraska to go pretty good again. I gotta see it to believe it like this year because last year I knew it was gonna be horrible. So
Well, I do think you guys have somebody in place that is going to do good. And I say that because looking at the transfer portal, you
yeah,
guys have a super talented transfer portal group
yeah,
coming in.
even
But
Michigan too. But yeah,
yeah,
I'll let you go with Bulldog.
JC.
Will JC. A lot of Bulldogs fans. I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
have a good one and see you on COD if you are on.
Okay. Sounds good, Nate. I'll see you later,
Yeah,
bro.
Nate.
All right. So, Sir UGA, what I'm doing is I'm just kind of giving everybody like just a minute or two just to come on and kind of say what they're looking for. So I'm gonna let JC talk, and then I'll bring you on and let you go. But JC, yeah, what are you looking forward to, buddy? Are you looking forward as far as spring games, or what's your eye on for this off season?
Well, my biggest concern is just, seeing how Georgia's going to be this year. I mean, looking at seeing who's going to win the starting quarterback, and, there's that competition, and seeing how our defense is going to be without Jalen Carter, and, the people we lost on defense this year, you know, the
Yeah,
defensive backs. I mean, I'm sorry, the cornerbacks and stuff. Well, the back
and that's
defensive
very
back.
true because we lose a starting corner in Keeley. Um,
Yeah.
And I forgot we lose Keeley and we lose Chris Smith.
I mean, Laster's coming back, right? But
Yes, Kamari's coming back. And then you have
Malachi starts. He'll be there.
yeah, Malachi starts and
Malik.
Kamari is super young. And I the positions right now that we're looking to have filled are that safety position in the other corner. But even we know this, it doesn't matter who. Yeah, exactly. So you just said just like the people we lost last year. Agreed. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter
Yeah.
who fills those two spots. We already know the 2, 3 guys behind them are going to play a crap load. That's just how it works. So
Yeah.
that I think that's the part that's cool is if I know that you won the starting job, I'm not going to be mad because I know I'm about to go out there and play too.
Yeah.
So it's just
And to
like
just,
okay,
and also to see if, how Zion Loeb does, and Stackhouse.
that's right. Nazir Stackhouse. Warren Brinson is staying, the other D tackle. Bear Alexander is the
Yeah, I'm
the
sure.
one who's a
I'm sure
freshman.
Pop will be there, and he'll be outstanding just like he was this year. But
Which one?
there's a lot of parts. Pop Johnson,
Oh
JD,
yeah, yeah. You talking
JD,
about the linebacker?
I mean, JDJ.
Yes, dude. That
Um,
dude was
the
he was a beast. I'm trying to think of who was there's a guy that just came in this year. His name's like Jar or Jamar something. He's a D tackle, and they said he's just as big as Bear Alexander.
Yeah, yeah, I heard about. I can't remember his name though, but I heard that too.
I want to say
I
he's
mean,
from like he was from North Carolina or something, but
yeah,
so
he was
you know,
huge though. You
and
seen him standing next to Kirby Smart, and they there was a picture. There was a picture that I seen on social media, and they had him standing there. And I know Kirby Smart's not all that tall, but he was like towering, like Jesus Christ. Hell.
Well, like I said, I'm
I mean,
just
that ain't saying a lot. I mean, I know that.
no, but I do think it's something to be said that focusing on what is to come is the biggest deal right now. So, like I said, that's good though. I'm crunk about that. I'm gonna let you go though,
Yeah,
JC,
yeah.
and I'll bring on the next person. But thank you for
Okay.
jumping on, buddy.
Yeah, appreciated being here.
All right, see you, bud.
All right, bye.
So yeah, fishing. We have. I was going through just like spring games and stuff, and kind of talking about different things that I'm excited to see, and what I'm excited to see from each spring game that I named, and just kind of giving um, other people, like, just letting them come in and kind of talk about what they're excited to look for, or what they're focused on this off season for, like, their team. So if you guys want to jump in for a few minutes and come tell us what your thoughts are while we're waiting on somebody to jump in. Two things. One, Sir UJ says Colby enjoys wearing yoga pants. And then two, fishing. Tell me, what are you looking forward to this off season? What are your question marks that you want answered?
From my team,
Yeah. From your team, you could say from Texas A&M, the new offensive coordinator. Like, just what's something you're gonna have your eye on?
well, I like that you said Texas A&M brings back, I think, the second most amount of returning players in the country. So if they
Gotcha.
don't increase this year or get better at all, that's a major red flag for Jimbo. And things are really going downhill and they're worse than we thought. So we'll have to see on that one. Still kind of a
Yeah.
quarterback competition.
Agreed. And you got, like I said, you got Petrino. Bobby Petrino is there. I'm curious about the spring game because I want to see the offense. Now that they have a real offense coordinator, I want to see what it looks like. See if they have an identity.
Yeah, and I think they got 2 5-star quarterbacks on there, so it's
There you
about
go.
time to see it.
But that's going to be exciting then to watch the spring game. I didn't know that about the quarterback piece.
Yeah, and then Evan Stewart, 5-star wide receiver. I mean, he's an absolute monster, and he was good. Even as bad as they were, he stood out on that team. So,
Dang.
yeah,
What's up, Nature Boy? We're gonna bring on Sir UJ. I'm gonna let him talk about as far as what he's got a eye for this off season. What would you say you're most curious about it? What's your biggest question mark for
I'm
your
looking forward to watching Florida suck again this season myself.
okay. Okay. That's that all right. Well, what about this off season?
You don't have a comment to that, Fishing?
Okay.
This off season?
Yeah. Just saying, like I know, like JC was saying, he's looking forward to the quarterback, the quarterback battle from Georgia. Like, what would you say you're most excited to see?
A three-peat?
Okay. Well, in your eyes, what starts that? Like, if you see in the spring game that the quarterbacks look good, or if you see the wide receivers looking good, what would you?
I don't like our side of the SEC is not getting any better when we are.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing as last season. I mean, I hate to say this, and I know that our side of the SEC is weak right now, but I mean, it is what it is. We don't control that.
well, let me
Yeah.
present an argument to something you should be looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to all of it. Trust me. I mean, shit, I didn't think we'd win one in my lifetime fishing. We done won 2 back to back.
Well, I'm saying what I'm really getting to is Mike Bobo and the new quarterback. That's what I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to.
No, I get that. I think that's a concern.
Yeah.
I don't like hearing guys come out and say, like Stetson coming out and saying, I don't even know who Mike Bobo is, I mean, that doesn't make me feel comfortable,
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Georgia has so much talent that I just don't think it's like, I don't know. I thought we'd take a step back this year and we got better, so
Yeah. Well, and the
losing
coordinator.
Munkin is a big deal. I will grant you that all day long,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just hoping that Bobo has been underneath him long enough to pick up some gains, and I don't know, man. I mean, I
Well,
think we're due a setback, is what I'm saying. So,
I'll tell both of y'all this. I heard like just multiple, I guess, YouTubers, and you see some of these people actually get like granted practice rights. And they say Mike Bobo is running a lot of 11 personnel at practice. Well, last year we ran a lot of 12 personnel, which is 2 tight ends. 11 personnel is 1 tight end, which shows we're going to have, 3 receivers on the field at all, or not all, but most of the time, then, 2 receivers and 2 tight ends, which to me, when you have 2 tight ends on the field, the other team is going to try to stack the box because that shows, hey, we're trying to run it down your throat. Well, when you have Darnell Washington, that's probably what you're going to try to do. Well, we don't have him. So now going into 11 personnel, I think defenses are going to have to spread out a little bit. And that does depend on the quarterback play. That does depend, because even though Monken left, everything that he has taught all the quarterbacks at Georgia does not automatically disappear.
Yeah, and I don't think you've seen Oscar Delp at his finest yet.
Oh, agreed. And I know he has shown flashes that, Brock Bowers has shown us, like the open field missed tackles, the being able to hit moves and stuff. And that's nice.
Yeah.
But I was just like, because Fishing brought up a good point as far as what to look for. I'm really hoping that he, yes, our quarterback play is good, but I'm really hoping that Bobo keeps getting the ball in open space like Monken did. The little small screens that we had,
Yeah, I worry about that. I mean, every coach has their own philosophy,
Well, and I'll say this: well, who's your third string running back?
I guess it'll be Branson Robinson.
Well, he's number 2, isn't he? Or no, maybe even
you got Kendall Milton will be number 1.
Milton's coming back.
John Edwards will be number 2, and then Branson Robinson.
Okay, I didn't Milton back.
But to your point though, because you still make a good point. This is Georgia. This isn't other schools. Georgia runs all 3 running backs. So the question is, who's the 4th string running back? Because one of those top 3 are going to get banged up. They're going to have to sit out a few games like every year. Georgia has a running back. Exactly what he said.
Yeah. Bark, dog, bark.
But I'm just saying, like our 4th string running back, he tore his Andrew Paul. He's kind of like a balance, like out of the backfield type back, but he tore his ACL last year. So he's recovering from that. Will he be ready by the season? I have no idea.
It doesn't matter. We've been using our running backs in 4 years.
So my point with that was that no, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was trying to answer your question, Fishing. The 4th running back is going to be dude from California that we got this year. I forgot, he's like 6'1", 235. And this man averaged like 230 yards rushing a game in California. He played in the same
linebacker to me.
Well, he played in the same region as Mater Dei High School, or Mater Dei, whatever.
6'1", 235. My good Lord,
that's a little heavy. They'll probably cut weight on him too.
I just was gonna say that. I was just gonna say. But my thing is though, when they didn't have him, because they didn't have him signed at first. He was committed to like USC or UCLA. Yeah, he was committed to UCLA and Chip Kelly. And Fishing had made this point a while back, and my thought was, well, we've already got 4 scholarship running backs. Maybe they're going to skip a year. And then when they were able to flip him, made me feel a lot better.
Yes, and y'all had to flip him like if your choice got taken, and that's why I had some concerns about it.
Yeah, no, agreed. And agreed completely. So, but I figured it would be a flip more than just signing the best player on the board. You know what I mean? Because it's like, just because he's the best player on the board doesn't mean he's a good player. Sometimes it's just what's left. So, but anyways, that's to me. I just feel the running backs this year are going to do better, because when you take away having 2 tight ends, your defenses have to spread out a little bit. And if the quarterback play can be good and we can, hit downfield a good bit, you now give more space to your running backs.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to 11 personnel, man.
No, I mean, I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying
you're just you have to work with what you're given. Unless you can find an elite big body tight end that can block like Darnell did, you're probably going to go back to 11 personnel.
I know, but damn, I think I know Delp's young, but like it just depends on what he comes out of camp at,
Yeah, I was just about to say you don't want to put like a whole lot of pressure on him, but whatever he can give you, that's what you're going to have to base it. Because what you don't want to do, and I think it would piss a lot of Georgia fans off, you don't want to put Brock in and just say, "Hey, we need you to block now." Like
they can't go back to that, bro.
But last thing I'll say about it, and then I'll let you go, and I'll bring on Kirby's visor. I just saw he was on here. But I do want to say I was really happy, with how Ladd McConkey has played as far as the open space, the little screen passes. And I was like, yes, well, now we have Dominic Lovett coming in from Missouri. Well, he plays that same way, and he might be better. He's the best returning receiver right now in the SEC as far as like his grade. But now we have two of those guys that can play that. So whether one is tired or one is whatever, or you have both on the field on each slot, and you can use one as a kind of a disguise, like it. Bobo has a lot of toys to play with. It's just, does he know how to use them? That's like, and that goes back to what we said earlier. Is he? Did he?
And Rod Thomas got his charges dropped, so he's good to go.
I saw that.
He was considered he was going to be out, so 2 big transfer gets for you. You lose 1 transfer, that's a big time, but you get 2 in return. So, and you have a bunch of veteran guys, Dominic Billy, like Kyrus Jackson. I mean, you got plenty of guys that have been there for years at wide receiver.
Rod Thomas actually, what was he like? One of the top receivers returning in the SEC as far as yards. So, but yeah. Anyways, we'll let that go. I'm gonna bring on Kirby's visor. We'll see what he's looking forward to. Mr. Visor, welcome to the show. No, I'm just kidding. What are you looking forward to this off season, sir? As far
TV
as your
fishing. What's up, fellas? Y'all ready for some visor talk? Because I'm ready for some talk.
Hit me with it.
Okay, let's go. So we saw the 12 personnel ran with Delp in the playoffs. Now there's a possibility if he's put on some weight, they might try that again, but I doubt it. You're probably going to 11 personnel, 2 wide receivers spread, 1 tight end, and a running back.
Yeah.
Our running back room is a lot better. That's not a knock on what we had, but Branson Robinson was showing some flashing at the end of the season. You got Roger Robertson coming in, still got Edwards.
In my opinion, tell me what you think, Visor. In my opinion, I love Kendall Milton. I love one that just went.
You got to stay healthy.
Agreed, but I think Dejon Edwards to me seems to be the best running back. Like as far as skill and movement and shiftiness, I love the way that dude runs the ball.
Yeah, I think Branson is your power back and Dejon's your shifty back.
Yeah. And Kendall, that's the one too. Kendall's got to stay healthy as well. That's big too. That's true. You're right. Oscar ran a little bit of 12. And to add to that, Visor, maybe, it's one of those where, hey, at least we know we can run 12 personnel if we need to. We can't run it all game, every game, but at least we can go at that. Visor, fishing, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Multiverse,
bro.
Yeah, Visor, are you there, bro?
Have him join, come back.
Visor, I'm joined.
Okay.
Hey, there he is. Okay, I can hear you now. Oh, he said okay, and then
he was getting a call. You hear the vibration.
Got you.
Well, tell me about the defense, because Jalen Carter and Robert Beal are gone, so the D line's a little bit, I wouldn't say fresh, because y'all recruit, where you can replace people, but who's going to be the next people to step up? Because where you're going to have those guys, especially with Kirby coaching that defense. That's the least of your worries, but you're going to have some people and some guys that are going to stand out this year. Who do you think that's going to be?
Wait, so can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Say that again. I'm having to text this person back, and I didn't know if it took me off of the stream. So say that again.
Yeah, I was saying with Jalen Carter and Robert Beal leaving, you're going to have to replace that. Y'all recruit really well at that position, so it's not a problem. It's the least position you have to worry about. But who's going to be the guy to step up for you?
I think the way that Kirby will play it this year, last year it seemed like he kind of kept players in more. He didn't rotate as many, as much. But this year, with having so much inexperience, I would not be surprised if it came into play of him just rotating guys out until somebody solidifies that position. Until somebody proves like, hey, I'm that dog.
Yeah, I can give you one like straight up true freshman that's going to be on that D line, and that's Jordan Hall.
You have raved about him, bro. You have raved about him.
There's some rave about him, but I'm going to keep it real with y'all. The older D linemen, they've got a lot of conditioning to catch up to these guys.
Oh yeah, no doubt, bro. No, like, and I'm not one that's like, oh, he's gonna come in and dominate. What Mikael Williams did last year is very rare to see.
That kid there, watch out for him.
Well, and what I heard Kirby say a lot, and this is what pumped me up, was he was like, Mikael's different. He was like, we'll get out of meetings and I'll be walking, back to my office and I'll look over at the practice field. He's out there by himself pushing sled.
Wow.
But that's the part though with Jordan, he's gonna, hey, Mikael, bro, what do I need to do? How did you get on the field so early?
What can I do to get better to start right away and flash early?
Mm-hmm. And he's doing that right now while talking. That's what he's doing.
Agreed. Well, and Fishing has told me a lot of good things about the kid, and
I love one of those. Kid. That kid has got it. He's got it. It's just getting him acclimated to this collegiate level conditioning.
Yeah, for sure.
And to touch on what you're talking about, who's going to step up? Is it 13? Is that Michael?
Yeah.
That kid ate Paris Johnson's lunch at the end of that game to sack C.J. Stroud.
I know.
A grown man.
Well, a grown draft pick.
A grown O-line too at that.
Yes. So, but there's two things to that. One, we got to remember, like, that defensive line goes against our offensive line since last spring. They were going against them. So him going against that tackle, it wasn't like, oh, this is a big matchup. It's like, dude, I've been going against guys like you for
this is normal.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then number two, the thing about Mikael that I think I liked a lot was the get the in shape part, because that's why he tore him up at the end of that game, because he was in better shape. Like, that's, So anyways, I just, I am. I'm super excited. And I like what Sir UGA said earlier. He expects, a setback. And it's not we're trying to be realistic. You don't want to be that annoying person that's like, yeah, we're going 47-0 this year. And I'm going to dye my Alabama hat into a Georgia hat because they're winning now. No, I don't want to be that. But I do know that we have a lot of talent. And, with Kirby hiring Brandon Streeter and other dude is now offensive analyst.
Yeah, how do y'all feel about that? How you feel about that, TV?
Bro, that's competitive as crap. Can you imagine walking into a room and seeing 4 former offensive coordinators and 3 former defensive coordinators, and all they do is take notes and watch film? Bro, what?
Hey, man. Hey, shout out to Sir UGA real quick.
Big up, Sir UGA.
You don't have to do that.
Big up,
hey,
sir.
Man. I'll check it.
And I want to throw this out there to Fishing, my Florida friend.
Yes,
I think y'all got y'all a good DC.
I hope so. He's really unexperienced.
I don't care. You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Kirby.
Well, and look, before you try to say Fishing, I want to add to his point. I was speaking about Georgia earlier. This was when I first started the show. When Kirby's first year came in and they were playing, I fell in love, bro. People are like, well, we lost this game. We shouldn't have lost. We shouldn't have fired Mark. And I'm like, bro, do you not see how hard we're hitting? Do you not see how we're competing, bro? Like, this team is different. Oh, I don't want to hear it. And all of a sudden we go 8-4 or at 8-5, and people are like, "Man, fire
Fire
him!"
Kirby.
But I'm like, "Bro,
This ain't the
what are
one.
you?"
Yeah, they
And
were
then the
saying Martin
second
Rick
year,
2.0.
in the second year, we championship appearance, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I like him." It's like, stop living in the moment, bro. This is sports. Look at the development. Look at the future. And when Florida was out here losing games or winning them by a touchdown, what'd you tell me, Fishing? There was like so many games that y'all won or lost by a touchdown. Like, that's impressive, bro.
And what I like about the coach that Florida's getting that on that defensive side is this guy is going to just take what's in the pot in the cupboard and make that personnel work. He's not going to try to force it. He's going to say, okay, what do they do? What are they good at?
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah, let them go play.
Really agree with that.
Yeah, so I think that everybody's really down on Florida this year, and I think Florida could surprise some folks.
Well,
Yo.
and people are like, well, yeah, Graham Mertz is terrible. Well, and I made this point, and I don't know if anybody on here has heard this. And I'll make it real quick, but if you look at what Paul Chris did at Wisconsin with him, his first year was his best year as a true freshman. He got worse and worse and worse. As soon as they lost an elite running back, and it was all reliant upon him, that system, I mean, they were no good. And he looked terrible. Yeah, he did look terrible.
And that's what I'm going to say. What is Paul Chris known as the offensive mind?
Running the ball.
So, you're not – guess what they're doing at Florida? They're doing a lot more of other shit at Florida than trying to just run the ball.
Hey, can I add to this?
Yeah, please.
I know that people are talking about Anthony Richardson being a high draft pick, and that'll be good for Florida. But can we all agree he did not have the greatest stats at Florida? He did not. So
they were terrible.
So, but now to bring in a Graham Mertz, he may not have the intangibles that Anthony Richardson has, but he doesn't have to if he comes in and has better stats.
There you go.
Well,
y'all, all those touchdown lost games, bro. All you had to have was better quarterback play. The Florida State game, better quarterback play. His stats weren't the greatest. He had some really good plays, but better quarterback play. Y'all beat Florida State.
Well, look, and check this out. I agree. I think he's going to run an offense better than Anthony Richardson did. I love Anthony Richardson for the highlights that he had. Like you brought up Florida State's game. He was 9 of 27. Now, 4 of those passes were 50-yard bombs for touchdowns, but he couldn't throw over the middle and throw in the pocket and make simple throws. He had too much heat on the ball and things like that. And so I think that's what you're going to see different about this team. Not only that, a lot of people are down on Florida this year. And I'm not extremely high on them, but people talk about, the Graham Mertz thing, like I said, and, in a second year of a head coach's tenure, what do you generally, if they're a good coach, what do? They improve. So if he is a good coach, we're going to see this year. And I can even bring up the wide receivers. The wide receivers from last year are terrible. We've instantly brought in really good guys. So, I think you're going to see a little bit of a turn. It's not going to be a big turn, but you're definitely going to see a little bit of a turn. And if this defensive coordinator's talk is going to work out like Bizer's saying and take with what he's given and make something out of it, which I do believe, then I think you're definitely going to be a little bit surprised with Florida.
One more thing about Florida, and I want y'all's opinion or feedback on it too, and then we'll move to Tennessee, and then we'll wrap it up. But the facts, sir, UJ, the best thing for Florida was AR-15 going pro. I wanted him to stay and try to develop more, but it was like, you can't promise he's going to develop more. You can only hope. But anyway, this is the part when you say, and this is just that one example that will prove the entire season. 9 of 27 against Florida State. Yes, he had a few bombs, and that's awesome. But what do I think of when I see 9 of 27? I see the inability to sustain a drive.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
Inconsistent. That's not winning football.
Exactly. That is not going to win games. You can have highlight play after highlight play. I remember watching a play where Anthony Richardson literally hopped over a dude and ran for 60 yards, and I was like, yo, why are you playing quarterback? What you doing, dog? That's awesome. But if you can't sustain a drive, then that's all you are, bro. You're just a dude that has highlights.
And that's amazing. And just one more thing about that. the running backs are just going to get better. Trevor Etienne was a true freshman last year. He's just going to get better. Montrell Johnson is going to be going to the draft after this year. He's going to be better. And then we got a transfer from Tulane, and so then we have one as a true freshman too. Still, so the running game is going to be much better than it already was.
Your offensive line will be better.
The offensive after losing 2 key pieces because of the transfers we brought in. We brought in a 5-star offensive lineman from Kentucky. Dude's an absolute beast. Keontae Goodwin. I mean, I'm telling you.
If anything we know about Kentucky and Stoops, it's that he knows how to recruit and coach up and develop these line of scrimmage guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, heck, Visor, what did we hear from Kirby every year against Kentucky? He's like, I don't care about what you guys see on TV. Like, Kentucky tries to win the line of scrimmage every game.
That's it. And that's where it all starts. Hell, Kirby comes to Georgia, and the first thing he's talking about is the line of scrimmage ain't up to par here.
And that is the difference, bro, of what I saw in the first year with Kirby was exactly that. Do y'all know the talk show? I forgot the name of it, but it's got a former coach, like a former Georgia coach. He's an old guy on it.
Jim Donnan.
Yes, Jim Donnan. He was like, he said, you want to talk about differences? He said, I remember when Georgia played Alabama at whatever game it was where we lost on the 7-yard line, the pass to Muhammad Massaquoi. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they ate our lunch up front. We had Stafford, Marino, AJ Green. Couldn't get nothing.
He said when he walked in and they were doing the media, he was like, you saw Georgia walk in and they had a few guys and you're like, okay, there's the dogs. He said, then you had Alabama walk in and every single one of their guys were big.
Yeah.
First string, second string, third string. Yeah, it's like he said even the manager looked like he benched 315. And I'm like, I just started laughing. But that's the difference now with Georgia is that right there. And I'm hoping that this new guy for Florida, dude, because I want Florida to do well because they're on our side. It'll make us stronger, get that rivalry back. But I hope this new guy is y'all's D coordinator this year. I hope he recruits the crap out of some D linemen, bro.
Weird fishing, but because Georgia is up on top right now, that's only going to make y'all get better, whether it's with Napier or another coach. Because watching Alabama whip us for years and Georgia not being able to get over that, slay that dragon, that's why they have a Kirby. That's why Mark Richt's gone, man. He's a great coach, but there's something was missing in the recipe. And Kirby.
Well, and it's another thing, bro, that's going to get Florida on the map. You're playing, the best team on your side in Georgia, and that's the biggest game on your side. It's also the best team in the nation. It's also the most. So just like Alabama was playing Auburn, did Auburn ever win crap loads of championships? No, but they didn't have to. They were still getting top recruits because, hey, Alabama got the number 1 D tackle. Okay, so Auburn got the number 2.
Yeah.
Because you knew you were going to play Bama at the end of the year, and that was going to be a big game. And that's the part that if Billy can use that as a recruiting pitch, dude, he'll have kids feeding out of his hands.
I was just about to say that. This is where the separation is. It's the recruiting and keeping kids in state that Georgia comes in and Georgia, Alabama comes in and just picks from us. That's where it starts. And once you start building that, and this is why I've never called for Billy's head or even considered it until after this coming year, and then I would start to be critical. I'm critical of him, but I'm not critical as far as him and his job.
Yeah, you're just an objective fan. You're not a homer.
I know what was at Florida. I mean, and it was terrible.
Right.
And you even look after last year, Billy came in, and these are some of the things that players were saying. They were like, this coach is a lot more strict, and things aren't really the same. We had 21 transfers from the whole team last year, and it's man, we're depleted.
Well, and he's going through a culture change. He's getting out the old that don't fit and that will never fit, and that he's getting in his players and instilling in these guys a new culture. And if y'all take that next step, like I think y'all can, you win the games you're supposed to win, and then you win a couple you're not supposed to this coming up year. Recruits are going to see it. They're going to see the improvement, and your recruiting will uptick even more. And if you get that NIL collective figured out, Florida and Georgia are going to be back on top.
Yeah, the recruiting for 2024 is already on fire. We got a 5-star quarterback.
Ledway, yeah.
Yeah, a top 50 linebackers right on the edge of a 5-star, and then like a top 80. What is he? I don't even remember. But there's four players that are in the top 200 already committed, and it's just 4. So, I mean, it's heating up really good. And speaking of a 5-star wide receiver that's committed to Ohio State was on campus today, and
Jeremiah Smith.
right, so it's upticking in the right direction, even with going 6-7 and getting stomped in a lot of games that probably
Just to get a guy like that on campus, just to get him to come look at you. Not saying you get him. That's a lot. That's
yeah, and it starts with that 5-star quarterback, because that 5-star quarterback.
Well, you
is
want
the
to play with
key.
good people. Good people
Exactly.
want to play with good
So,
people.
yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, man, for all the talk and everything, man. And it's always a good time just tuning in and hearing from you guys, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Bowser, before I let you go, I want to say, how cool was it to see Billy Napier kick Brenton Cox off the team?
And look, but the thing is that he's changing the culture, and he's not going to put up with what used to be the status quo anymore.
No, agreed.
And I wish well for Brenton Cox. I wish.
Me too. I'm not knocking him. I just was saying, how cool was it to see Billy like really take that next step and go?
I'm the coach. This is my program.
Well, and I would even ask the question. He transfers from Georgia for some reason, right? Nobody really knew why, because he was, the top recruit coming into that team, and then he transfers to Florida and he plays really well, but he gets kicked off just randomly out the blue, like no explanation, no nothing. It seems like a Brenton Cox problem, not a Florida or a Georgia problem.
That's correct. And you just wish the young man to figure out whatever he's got going on behind the scenes and go live his best life, man, because he's got potential.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's a big step for Billy. And I think they take the next step. These people talking 5-1, they're fucking crazy, man. Just don't listen to that bullshit.
It's a tough schedule. It is a tough schedule.
No, it is.
Sorry to leave you. I didn't mean to keep you. I know you said you were trying to go. I just wanted to say that real quick.
Yeah, big max respect to Billy for doing that, man. Yeah, man. And we want to see, as Georgia fans, I want to see competitive, good games, man. And if that means my hated rival being better, then so be it.
Hey, man, that's what we love.
That's right. That's right. Take care, fishing. Take care, TB. Have a good night, you guys.
You too, man. So, like I said, we'll wrap up the show. We'll just finish in with Tennessee. I know Tennessee has another quarterback who played some last year. We got to see him. Dude is not bad at all. And so we were able to see that Heupel's offense is a good offense. It wasn't just, oh, you had a great quarterback, that's why you were good. Like you do have a good offense, and your scheme is really good. Your X's and O's are good. And what's up, Jack? And so that to me is what I'm looking for in this spring game. What are some key pieces you got? Because I know you recruited some players, and I know the same thing with Florida. Basically, you had Tennessee lose almost half of their, what was it, like 35 something or 30 something scholarship players to the transfer portal because of whatever. Because a lot of these players thought that Tennessee was about to get fined or get some scholarship restrictions or whatever it was. So that's what I'm looking for when it comes to the Tennessee spring game.
Yeah, me too. I want to see Joe Milton. You're going to see, we've seen Joe Milton. We had problems with Joe Milton last year of overthrows and stuff like that, and that's why Hendon Hooker ended up getting the job. But that was the year before. But Joe Milton sat there behind that offense, and I do think he's learned it. We saw what he did to Clemson. I agree with you. That offense shows that it's not just the quarterback. I think almost any quarterback with a lot of talent that can come in there and run that thing. And in the spring game, you're going to see Nico Lama, however you say his name.
It was all of what you just said. Yeah. Everything you said that's his name. No, and you're right. I completely forgot about him. I want to say his name's like Nico Manning or Nico.
It's Iyama Lama-Leva, I think.
Oh, got you. Well, little what's the name? Nico Little Red Riding Hood. I really think that dude's not bad. I think the fact that he is a mobile quarterback, it's going to make him look, not saying he's not good, it's going to make him look better than what he is because he's going to be in the pocket and he's going to break and run for 15 yards, and the crowd, you already know, is going to trip out. And be like, ooh, wow. And that's a good thing. That's not bad. That just goes to show that, hey, at least he knows how to use his legs.
Mhm.
But Tennessee does need to do a very good job of it. You know, he may not be the starter, and that's fine. But do not redshirt him because he is so good that you can bring him in games, especially the way you play. You blow teams out quick. You can get up by 21, 28 points. Let him come in and try to score another 14 points.
I completely agree, and be ready for
Like,
next year.
yes, because at Tennessee, you're lacking the scholarship players. Doing things like this, you can refill your roster quickly.
Mhm.
Because now, okay, hey, Tiger Baskins and Fishing, we're the 5th and 6th receiver, but we're 6 games in, and I got 3 touchdowns already. Fishing got 2. What? Yeah, bro, we got up on these teams, bro, and they put us in. We played the whole second half. I got like 300 and something yards receiving right now. Like, that's the part of, oh, okay, I see you, Tennessee. So
Mhm.
y'all trying to offer me? Like, that is the part of. No, I agree, dude. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Very, very excited to see it.
Yeah, and you lose Cedric Tillman, you lose Jalen Hyatt, the wide receivers.
Yeah.
You got Brew McCoy, and you know this dude's name if you've heard it. It's Squirrel White. That's the wide receiver's name, Squirrel White. But both pretty good receivers that did. They were kind of 3 and 4 last year. They're probably going to be 1 and 2 this year, and then they got a good. They got some recruits coming in, so we'll see how the wide receiver core looks. I don't think it'll be as potent as last year, but that's really besides the point. If you're going to watch the spring game for Tennessee, I wouldn't even really worry about the offense. Other than watching Nico and see what he does, I'm looking at that defense. That's
That's
the
a
main thing
very
that I'm
good point.
looking at.
That's a very good point, bro. And next, what we'll do on your stream, something I'll kind of remember to do. I'm gonna look up Tennessee's recruiting class and roster to see who they had come in as far as like DBs. That'd be really, really cool to talk about.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
yeah, I got you. Yeah, I agree.
Bulldog JC wants to know. He said, I want to know, is number 21 still in Florida's defense? He's a biggin.
Yes, he is. That's my boy Big Dez. He came in at 475.
That's the big guy.
Yeah. He's like 415 now,
Now,
but he came in hit.
is he about to be draft eligible after this year?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think they're going to like do their best to get him down into the 360, 370 range? Like try to get him into draft shape? And you know why I say that no NFL team is going to waste a high draft pick on a guy that can't play more than, 4 or 5 snaps at an NFL level.
Yeah.
Not saying he's not good. I'm not saying that. You know what I mean?
No, and for his size, that's what's really special about him. For his size, he really moves really quick. So if you get him down to a really good weight, it's kind of there's no telling what this guy could do. But he's a nose tackle, so he's more physical right up the middle. So it's good for him to have that size, but he does need to live a little bit. I would say like 360.
What's up, P Digits?
375 range would be pretty good for him, and I think
Well, and that was what I was getting at because who he reminds me of is Mount Cody that used to be at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Cody was a big dude and he stopped a lot, but this was also before the no huddle offense. I mean, there were no huddle. I'm saying before the pass happy, score happy teams you see now that will go side to side to wear your D lineman out. And then he went to the NFL and he didn't pan out. So I'm just saying, yes, Big Dez is playing in this era. Yes, he is surviving in this kind of offensive happiness, happy scoring teams, whatever. But if he does get down to a certain weight, now he can play 4 or 5 plays in a row, 5, 6 plays in a row. Like now you're talking okay, it'd be worth it. Even if he only plays 30 snaps a game, 40 snaps a game, he can play him at an elite level.
Absolutely. So, and the best thing about it is if he don't go to the NFL this year, he can come back next year and then he can go.
Oh, yeah. Well, And then now let's take it to the next step. Hey, you can't go to the NFL, Brody. I'm sorry, and I know I get it, but there's this thing called the XFL where you can still go make some money. You know what I'm saying? So I just, anyways, I just wanted to start about I wanted to, yeah, I see, yeah, if I see you, Visor. He was saying something about Kirby, bringing in Jordan Davis. And you've seen a lot of people try to create their own like nose tag, like to have that on their team, that big body. And I was telling everybody earlier about, you got Bear Alexander, but then we also got this dude from, I think it's Ja Jarrett, the dude from North Carolina, who's built just like Bear Alexander.
Yeah.
So, but anyways,
yeah, Nature Boy Gervont is gone. Yeah, he gone.
Got you. But yeah, so a lot of good things to look at. This stream, I didn't even mean for it to be an hour. Honestly, I was planning to try to end about 9:30, but we just kept talking about good topics. So shout out to all of y'all for helping on that. Nate says, "Can you talk about my question?" What do you say? Oh, can we talk about the fact that OSU doesn't have an experienced quarterback for this
They go
upcoming
through this
season?
every 2 years. They go through this every 2 years. They'll be fine.
Oh.
That's the answer.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, Nate, they'll have somebody. The thing that you got to remember, Ohio State is just like we spoke about with Tennessee. It's not. Yes, the quarterbacks are good, but it's not the quarterbacks that make the offense. It's a balance. The quarterbacks are good, but the offense is good. So whatever 5-star they have in the quarterback room, they can just plug and play.
That right.
So yeah, man. Guys, thank y'all. This was a good one. This was a good one, Fishing. I like it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I my bad for being late, but I was a little bit late, but
You fine.
I had to go back and show up.
This this is what I wanted this to be when we had talked about it, is yes, being able to hear from people, but I like the little somebody come in and talk for a few minutes, this person come in and just hearing perspectives, because one, they spark questions and then they spark thoughts as far as to talk about, but two, it's still a show, but we're allowing freedom as far as insight on the spot insight. So that's what I like.
Get all over the place, all the college football. We talk about anything, opinions about anything, and everybody can give anybody's opinion on whatever. So I like it too.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Sir UGA, Nate the Great. Oh, shout out to Sir UGA for the cash app. Your boy about to head to the Taco Bell right now and buy 75 cheeseburgers, bro.
Hey man, this ain't even my channel, and my man sent me something. So, bro, you didn't have to do that. I appreciate it though. I really do.
He said get a Mexican pizza. I'm gonna get that and tell him to put 2 buns on top and bottom. You fine, Nature Boy. But hey, we got you next time, big dog. You fine. But shout out to the people that showed up. Nature Boy, Sir UJ, Nate the Great, Visor, P Digits even came in and had some coffee with us. JC, Eden Mayhem. Oh, I didn't even know Mayhem Matthew was here. Shout out to Mayhem, man. I miss that dude a lot.
Miss that dude too, man.
Yeah, I miss that dude. He a dude, and I miss him. Shout out to Jack. Trying to see anybody. Oh, Traveling Fools, Craven Moorhead, all y'all that showed up, man. We had a good one. But I'm gonna let y'all go. And I know I've never played video games in my life, but we may have to stream something in a bit. So yeah.
I'm about to hop on MW2 about it. But
I'm gonna call my boy Fishing real quick, and then I guess I'll see y'all in a bit. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
Sayonara, Fishing.
Sayonara. How about that? Sayonara.
No, I'm not saying that.
Sayonara.
All right, okay, bye. See you, Travel.